I'll wait for this gentleman to pop in. How's it going? You enjoying the time at the con? He loves it. Man. Are we good? Okay. All right. So, hi, everybody. Is everybody doing all right today? Like, can we like some? Woo! Yeah! It's Sunday. We survived. We're good. We're having a great time, I'm sure. So, this is Diary of a Security Noob. That's me. I'm TJ Toterhi. We'll get into, me and all that good stuff here in a second. But first, I just want to, I want to get everybody, let's say thanks and cheer for the Derbycon staff. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you for throwing on this is my third one. I love it. Whoever whistled, that was great. I can't do that. So I'm going to need, whistle guy, do that. Or gal, I'm sorry. So, and then also the video and security folks too. Let's give them an extra round of applause, because seriously, that's you gotta sit and make sure that people aren't being jerks and stuff like that, and you don't get to see the talks as much. So that's really that's great. I appreciate that. So let's get into this a little bit about me. So my name's TJ Toterhi. I'm been in for security for 4 years. I'm a web application penetration tester. I actually worked in sales for 10 years and then got laid off. And then, it's oh, I should probably get a real job. And not that sales isn't a real job, but, oh man, it's shh. Okay, right, yeah. So, and I'm yeah, anyway. So, yeah, no prior IT experience. I just kind of fell into it. But I got GCIH, CISSP. Fun fact, we played, Derbycon Jeopardy the other night. 0. We had a category for CISP questions. Got none of them right. So I'm so sorry. 1 wife, 3 kids. And I'm also a gamer. So if anybody plays Overwatch, PC, come hit me up. We should totally play together. I don't know, say something. I'm a support main, not a Hanzo main. So, yeah, these guys know. Yeah, these folks. All right, so, and yeah, any kind of views or anything. Really? Ew. Was I leaning this morning? Is that showing his age?
Finish it!
There we go.
I'm gonna get back. My boss hey, you're fired. So here we go. I gave this talk at B-Sides Cleveland, and thanks for. This is one of the guys that helps put it on, so thank you very much. And it was really good. I got some good feedback and made a little bit of tweaks here and there. And somebody said, they're yeah, it was really good, but it was too short. And I was that's the second time I've heard that today. So, hey-o! So I was all right, hold my beer. Let's do this in 20 minutes instead. I think I had 30 minutes, and I was yeah, let's do this. So here we go. So first of all, why this talk, right? So if you're new to security, it can be very overwhelming, right? So there's a lot of different disciplines and backgrounds and things like that are very helpful to have. And really quick, anybody got 0 to 2 years of experience in here? I want to hug you all. It's going to be okay. We're going to be good. It's going to be nice. It's going to be neat. So there's some things that I wish I would have known sooner. Just getting into security, I had the opportunity to work with a lot of really awesome people. A lot of them are in the first couple of rows here too. I mean, everybody's awesome in here, but I'm saying it's it's great. Yeah, there's that. The ones I'm working with. So, so I love you guys. You people. Oh God, no, you. So I just want to help you make your journey as an InfoSec professional a successful one. So, it's not everybody has that luxury of working with really great folks that help them out in their career and very selfless and all that good stuff. So I'm just trying to do my part. So why do you like security? It's great because you can do you can basically do what you want to, right? You could be what you want to be, right? So there's a lot of different disciplines. You could do what you love, but then if that changes over time, you can switch to a different kind of role, right? Your role can evolve. And it's not necessarily linear, right? So you can start out and you could, be oh my God, man, Has anybody thrown up yet? Like up here? Because give me another one. So you could start out as an analyst, right? And then you could move up and become an engineer. And that's not moving up, right? It's like it's a different role, right? So you could become like an engineer. You could be like an architect. And then if you want, you can just go right into management. Like that's cool too, So oh, wow. Yeah. Crazy. All right. So sometimes we hear like there's some like beef going on, whatever, like school versus certifications, versus experience and things like that. So like school's good for a general grasp on a lot of different topics, right? Like, so, you could just like the scumbag Steve hat because, like if you're going for me, never mind, I won't say it, but, it's good. You get a really good background and stuff like that, good foundational, experience for security that lends itself to it. Certifications are good for, like getting your foot into the door, right? So, there's certifications right now as being like a noob that you can like take. Like you can just like shell out for, maybe, I don't know, for like Security Plus, right? So things that'll kind of put you ahead of others, because you're showing like that passion and you're kind of like fronting it on your own at, the beginning. They'll become more important as you specialize, but, there's some like basic, like foundational ones that are really good. But ultimately there's no substitute for experience. And we'll talk a little bit later about setting up your like home labs and just things you can do with, set the foundation for, open source tools, right? That you can, go and be like, hey, I don't have my experience with X tool, but I've got something that, lends itself really well to it. So there's that. So what I want to talk to you about too is like getting your foot into the door and interviewing. So I thought I made it like animated, not anime. Like, So, all right. So like you have your resume, and when you're starting out, it's probably not going to be like that robust. At least mine wasn't. It was pretty bad. So, I found something on Groupon that was, like professional resume, like looking over and stuff or whatever. I think it's a different heading, but, have somebody, look at it, consider it, consider getting it professionally written. At the very least, just have somebody, glaze over it with a, second pair of eyes. When you're interviewing, good questions are going to consist of a wide range of questions, right? So the interviewers are not just your technical aptitude; they're also judging to see if you're, like whether or not you're a dick and like you want to, like they want you on their team. Can I say dick? I just did. Sorry. What if your name is Dick? Then that's okay, like, right? So, like, I like to make this analogy. Like, if these are, like, delicious, like, donut holes, right? Like, which one look better, right? Like, you want to be the more appealing B-hole and not, like, the terrible A-hole, right? No way. What, does that mean something else?
I saw that coming.
Oh, man. Yeah, don't be that.
Don't be the
A couple other tips for interviewing and all that good stuff. Like, hey, like if you don't know an answer, like just admit you don't know it. It's chances are if you try to BS your way through it, you might get it right, but it's going to ultimately hurt you in the end. And it's they're like I said, they're judging like. They're going to ask you questions that are kind of out of your range of knowledge just to kind of see how you could possibly work through it, which is, just say, hey, I don't know, but I'd like to talk through it. And that'll kind of just highlight some of your problem solving skills there with that. And, I found, personally that it's okay to, take notes while interviewing. There's a couple of people in the past that have interviewed me, in this room, and I had like, wow, it was bad. I got abused. And like, I still, like, if you see me walking with a limp, like, that's why, because it was a bad interview. But I took, a lot of notes, and I said, like, I don't know the answer now, but chances are that question is going to come up again in the future, so I need to know this, right? So, and it's okay because, I go in for like an hour and I black out, like what happened. That's why I'm not allowed to go to the supermarket and like do our grocery shopping. I black out and there's like a cart full like $300 worth of food, and it's bad news. So that's kind of how it is with me in interviewing. And don't ever sell yourself short. Like, you're new, right? But, don't let that hold you back and kind of talk you out of something, like an offer or, like a position or something like that. Like you're awesome and we need you here. So don't sell yourself short and just be like, well, I'm new. I don't have that much experience. So like, I'm a scrub. You're not a scrub. If you ever, like, my contact information's on here. If you feel like you're a scrub, you contact me and I'll tell you you're not a scrub. I'll record a message. Like, we'll FaceTime or whatever. I'll be like, you are not a scrub. You got this. All right. Oh, yeah. What if your name is Scrub? I'm like, you are Scrub. You are not a scrub.
You are the scrub.
Or a group of scrubs that would necessitate in a whole entire rack. Oh, man, that is like really heavy.
It's a dry heat.
It is a dry, it's a dry heat. All right, so, God, people are like, shut up. Seriously? Like, I'm trying to, like, okay. So, all right, cool. You've landed a job. I want to be the first person to congratulate you. Congrats. Yeah, so, like, now what, right? So, look, you're not going to know everything about your role or the company in your first day, week, month, maybe not even year, right? So you need to come to terms with that now, right? So it's an iterative learning process. You want to work with your manager to establish goals. At least one of these should be a stretch goal. You don't ever want to get into the situation where you're like, hey, I like my job and it's cool. I'm just going to keep like doing that. Like, you always want to like strive for something better. You want to make yourself better. And even if it's just like hobbies on the side that are just going to, you always try to always be working towards something. This is especially helpful when you're new, is meeting your peers and other teams, right? I start out in vulnerability management, and it's like you're like, hey, I need you to like remediate all of these, like send out all these patches and stuff like that. They don't know who you are, like they're not going to know where you're coming from. They're not going to really care. It's like we're already stretched pretty thin as it is right now. So just getting out there and being like, oh, hey, that's Scrub over there on the security team. Like, yeah, we're going to do this for him or her, see how you can affect change. Like my favorite thing is that, like, don't just go in there and be like, it's Pantsless Friday. Cause like that won't slide. You have to, see how you can affect change in the sense of like documentation, right? So if your procedures are not very well documented and you're the person that is suffering through that, trying to learn something, just, step up and be like, and create that documentation. And one of the most important things is learn the business, right? So you want to know what it is that you're helping defend against, right? So that kind of helps you understand, who could potentially be attacking you, what assets are more important possibly than others, things like that. So just really important to learn the business. You're not just there in IT, like you're defending. You're attacking. I don't know. I got nothing for that one. So imposter syndrome is something that I want to talk about. Actually, it was last year. I think somebody gave a talk about imposter syndrome, and it was good. It was so good that I don't remember who it was, but just look it up. It was last year. And I think it's important. There's a blob of text and stuff like that up here, but I want to read it. I think it's important. So imposter syndrome is a psychological phenomenon in which people are unable to see their own accomplishments, dismissing them as luck, timing, or a result of deceiving others into thinking they're more intelligent and competent than they believe themselves to be. So, it's hard to just sit up here and be like, are there kids? Can I say the S word? Can I say it's bullshit, right? Oh! Was there a kid here? I'm sorry. All right. That's BS, okay? So, it's hard to overcome, right? So we had a quote saying that, I was afraid to speak up or ask questions for fear of saying something stupid and people would find out that I didn't really know my stuff. Like that's did I say that? Because I felt that, and I still do at times, right? So, I think a good way of overcoming imposter syndrome is to look at this, and I hope everybody can see it. And if not, I think it's very important to catch the slides. And if you'd like, I give you my information. I'll give you this, but this is very important. So, changing your perception over imposter syndrome, right? So, here is this big blob of what I think that other people know, and what I know is just a little tiny little bit right there, right? So, but the reality of it is that, there's a great big blob of what other people know, but there's also a lot of what you know, and there is this overlapping thing. So, it's not, you can't just look at it and be like, oh yeah, I got it, like imposter syndrome, boom, I'm done. But, I think it's really important to change your your perception of that, and that'll kind of help you get over it. I mean, I still have imposter syndrome, and I've been in the game like 4 years, like, so it's, you are not alone. Excuse me. So, I got a couple tips on overcoming imposter syndrome. I really want this water, but I got to click through. So first of all is just to realize that it exists, right? So knowing what it is and knowing that like feeling of uncertainty and just like, maybe I'm not good enough. Like I promise you are, okay? Don't ever attribute your success to luck, right? Don't do it. Don't talk about your abilities and successes with words as just like, I merely did this or I only did that or simply like, no, like you're doing good, right? So don't, I know it's hard, right? Because, you think maybe you got lucky, but you didn't because you're not that lucky that many times in a row. I could tell you that. Remember that it's okay to seek help from others, and even the best do it. Talk to people here. Like there's a lot of awesome and really smart folks here, you included, for coming to this talk, you know what I mean? No, seriously, like everybody needs help. And then just a thing that I found really helpful is just to keep notes and just periodically review them just to see how much you've grown, because that's a really good, it's hard to see every day as you're getting better. But when you can look at a snapshot in time, 6 months ago and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't know, what, this was or whatever. You can look at it and be like, I'm getting better. It's a really good, like personal, just kind of development thing just for you. Delicious. So communication. So this is what I want to talk about. Communicating, effectively will serve you really, really well in your career. Just get comfortable talking to and in front of others. It's, we always hear about, the people in IT or whatever, like, they're socially, sometimes like, we have that shtick that like we're socially inept or anything, stuff like that. And like, that's just not true. And sometimes it's just, finding your comfort zone or, some people you got to work at it, right? Just get up in front of like a group of people and act like an idiot and talk about your journey as, being a noob, in security. Like you can do it. Consider joining Toastmasters too. I'm really big on this. I think it's a really good way to just get up in front of, a group of strangers and be able to talk about different things. They have a lot of different, activities that help you get better as a presenter, and a lot of chapters, if not all of them, will let you go to a couple of meetings without having to join. So go check it out. All right, so mentorship, incredibly important here. Find a mentor, okay? Try to aim for having somebody that's going to be 2 levels above you. It doesn't necessarily have to be anybody in security, but as your first couple of years, try to make that somebody that feels your pain and has been there. Because I think that'll really kind of help you out. You need somebody that you can comfortably ask questions to. Oh my God, I'm sorry. All right, so that's a spicy V8. It wasn't even that spicy. It was just a lot. You want somebody that you can ask questions to that you're not going to feel stupid, because I know even still now. I mean, there's a couple of people here in the that I can ask and just not be afraid of being judged, and that's really important, especially now. You can have more than one mentor. That's fine. You can have official mentors and unofficial, unspoken, like mentor, right? Like that kind of mentor. Try for one in multiple aspects of your career, right? You get your security one, you get your leadership mentor. Those are really good to have. Make it, I just said it good. For your official mentors, like make it an official thing. Meet regularly. Have them, hopefully, like I had a really good mentor that would assign me homework, and we'd meet like 2 times a week, and we'd just be like, hey, this is what I did. And they're like, this is crap. Get this out of here. Like you didn't really do that, but so once you get more experience under your belt, I want you to go out and I want you to give that knowledge to other people. I think we're kind of running like quick on time, so I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. So we want to set priorities and goals. I talked about goals a little bit earlier. These are what these are what's going to help you become a better security pro. You want to develop a list of goals and make sure that they're aligned with your priorities. So I had a leader one time that had burning initiatives, right? So those are like the really important goals that you want to, like the most important ones, right? So and they're going to be different for everybody, right? So you want to make them smart, right? Like everybody's heard like the SMART thing. You want them to be specific, measurable, achievable, results focused, and time bound. If you just set like, I want to go to space, like how are you going to do it? Like it's not a thing that all of us are going to be able to do. So you want to make sure that they adhere to the SMART. Divide and conquer. Start general and get precise. So, okay, what do you want to do? Like, I want to get a certification. Awesome. Good for you. That's great. What certification? Oh, well, all right, Security Plus. That's something that we can all go with right now. So now you're starting to narrow it down. Okay, great. So how are you going to pay for it, right? Okay, that's another thing. You're narrowing it down some more. How are you going to study? When's the time? Like, when are you going to take the test, right? Because if you just set it out, you're going to do it. Chances are it's not going to happen. And just aim to have a clear path to achieving these goals. And they don't have to be earth-shattering to everyone or anyone, just as long as they're important to you. Get out and meet the community. Hey, we're at Derbycon right now. That's a really good start. There's a ton of other, conferences and things like that, both near and far that you can do to go to. I made those like... Keep in touch with the community. Attend them, monthly meetings, bi-monthly meetings. Keep those relationships going. There's like ISSA, IC Squared, Locksport, OWASP. All those things are really good to meet, like-minded security professionals that can help you just kind of stay in the loop, build relationships, and just kind of help advance your career. Okay, so I love this one. Okay, so we're going to talk about training really quick. So, a lot of the times we hear training and like my training budget, and it's just not in, the cards for training this year. I say that's not entirely true, right? Because all of the training is not expensive. So I like to put it on what I call and this is, I made this up, all right? So if you see this anywhere else, no, this is according to the Rapper scale, right? So, if you're with a company that's like in the Ferrari and the Jaguars, switching 4 lanes with the top down, screaming out money anything, then you probably want to go to something like Sands. And, it's not cheap, right? But, or it's not inexpensive, but, it's good training, right? It's recognized, right? So if you're like, I got this brand new phone, but I'm going to need to like pour Cristal on it just to make sure that's really not waterproof, like that, potentially, you can go to like conference training. Like it was pretty reasonable for training before Derbycon and some of the other conferences and stuff like that. If you're already going to be there anyway, just like see if you can tack that on to it. And then finally, like you're like, oh well, I owe $60,000 in rent, and damn it, I'm going to get some training. Like I'm going to then there's like local organizations, and that doesn't necessarily don't correlate. The rappers to the types of training, because like Cyber, good stuff. Like the ISSA has like really great local training, for Columbus that really helped me. I'm not just a member. I am just a member. So, let's see if we can do this. This is one of the things I really want to try. So just, hang on. So like, if you can't make the conferences, no problem. You just go to like Iron Geek site, right? IronGeek.com for recordings of the talks. And let's see. Let's see if we can do it. Hold on one second. I want to do this so bad. Oh, it didn't even go up there. That's even better. Okay, I was going to put like the live stream up here. Yeah.
That's like demoception.
Yeah, it is. I was going to blow all of your minds, but I need everybody to keep it together here. So it worked earlier when I was messing around with it, but I didn't connect to the Wi-Fi's. So anyway, check with the con site, see if they post the slide deck or tools. Check to see if the conference has a YouTube channel. Like reach out to the presenters. Generally they'll give you a couple of options of getting in touch with them after their talk. And then here's proof. Like here's my LinkedIn and my at Hoshin on Twitter. So you can reach out. Like we'll be pals. It'll be great. Don't be a jerk, right? So avoid the curse of knowledge. That's the thing where you automatically assume somebody has the understanding and background to understand what it is that you're talking about, right? So sometimes you need to understand your audience and better tune your message. Don't be rude to vendors or recruiters. I know we get like a lot of calls and some of them can, kind of be jerks. Just, I would say like, rather than just being like jerks, like just troll them. And if you need any really good like ideas for doing that, just hit me up because we've got some really good, we were talking about the other night. It's really good. And just understand like it's not that people are stupid, like they just might not know any better. I've talked to a lot of like security people that are just kind of jaded on that. It's like, I only had like a 6-character password. Like, like it's hard, right? We live, breathe, eat this stuff. And, not everybody, gets that. So, here's okay. I feel like we're coming up on time. all right, so I'll skip past this stuff, but it's basically like there's like some company that was like, oh, secure your data, people, look at all the stuff we were able to just walk around and get it. Like, people don't know this stuff, right? That's like your doctor just being like, hey, you have high cholesterol and you're an idiot for not knowing that, or how to take care of that. Like, it's our job to to kind of spread the good word of security there. Good information resources. Reddit actually has some pretty decent security subreddits. I actually got a job from there one time, so that's pretty neat. Security Weekly, SANS, ISC, good stuff there. Also, I just want to plug this. A couple of security friends and I are starting up a podcast aimed at people new to security. But hey, anybody can give it a listen. So we're still in the works of getting things set up, but introsec.net. Get it? We have a sign up page right now where you can give us your email address. We're not going to sell it, because it's not really like that. It's not there. Your information's already out there, so it's like we don't. So, but this is for you, right? So, let us know what you want to hear. There's a little sign up thing, the things that topics that you might want to hear about. But that's coming soon. Introsec, pretty neat. A couple of parting tips I'm going to blow through here really quick. Schedule weekly, bi-weekly one-on-ones with your boss. Don't burn bridges. Security communities are pretty tight, so that's going to get around if you're just, kind of like piecing out and leaving jobs and stuff like that. Not cool. Hit me up if you want the URL for this lab or this presentation on how to build a lab. That's really cool. John Strand and his pals at Black Hills InfoSec did a really good webcast for your 5-year plan in InfoSec. That's really good. Check that out. If you're still in school, consider an internship. It's a great way to get experience and meet people. See if your employer will let you shadow in security if you're not already in security, maybe once or twice a week for a few hours. Check out the Humble Book Bundle. Sign up for that. Sometimes they have really good security books that are like this week, this guy says. So humblebundle.com/books. And then, speaking with other teams, develop empathy, learn what it is that they're what they're going through. It gives you better understanding to be like, fix your ish. Read The Go-Giver. I can't talk about it right now because I'm running low on time. But it's a super good book. I promise. Alex, isn't it a good book?
It's a good book.
It's a good book. Don't be too afraid to ask questions. There's a bit of a fine line there. Try to answer the question first yourself. But if you absolutely can't do it, then, go for it. And, have somebody, take a look over your work whenever possible, because this talk was almost called Dairy of a Security Noob. And I'll never live that down. Alex caught that. So cool. Neat. What's that? No. I love dad jokes and you're getting a hug. I love this guy. All right, so I don't know if I have time for questions. I don't think I do. And whoever's speaking next, I apologize because I think I ran over, so I'm a bit of a jerk. If you Toterhi at gmail.com, right? Toterhi and then @Hoshin. So feel free to hit me up. I want to help. And best of luck to you. And thanks for coming out to hear me ramble and drink V8. Love you.